what's up there, my global nobles? How's it going there, YouTube Nation? So, we're getting into Players Unknown BattleGrounds. Now, again, this is a game that recently was released on early access as of yesterday. So, it was released March 23rd, 2017, and this game has gotten a lot of true hype. And to my experience playing the beta and then having a couple of games in its early access, it is a totally worth getting game. So if you actually want to ditch certain games for the weekend and want to have something truly fun to play, then this is the game to get. But say for instance you don't have a good system, you don't have a beefed up system as some of the professional streamers that you see on Twitch or YouTube gaming have. Well, I got something that I can actually improve your graphics settings, and who knows, you could be able to have at least a somewhat par type of frame rate that you can actually enjoy and play the game. So let's get started. So as we get into your control settings, you basically will have to go into your graphic settings. Now, in your graphic settings, if you want, I would recommend you playing on full screen windowed mode. And then if you want, you can also change down the resolution a little bit if you have this on full screen. But if you don't, you probably might have to change your desktop resolution in order for the resolution to actually change. My recommended settings for your desktop resolution should be 1600 by 900. Now this will not only improve your frame rate, but you can actually improve your aiming and your line of sight when it comes to playing the game. And as well, you want to go down near your quality, and you definitely want to bring down the scale resolution to a good 70, your anti-aliasing to a medium, your post-processing to a very low, shadows very low, textures to medium. You can also have this on high or ultra if you have a graphics card that has 4 gigabytes or higher. You could also bring down your effects down to very low and foliage down to very low. And as well, you might want to remove motion blur, because as we all know, motion blur pretty much doesn't do anything. Just gives it more of a realistic kind of feel, but it also brings down your frames per second completely if you don't have a beefed up system. Now this game is pretty much recommended for you to have an 8-core type of system with at least 6 gigabytes of RAM, and as well it also requires a 7800 AMD type graphics card. I'm not pretty sure what it could be for the Nvidia side, as I'm not an Nvidia fanboy. I'm pretty much all AMD. So when it comes down to it, yes, you need an FX 8-core chip, and as well you need a 7800 graphics card in order for you to actually get its full potential. But still, you know, even if you don't have those type of beefed up hardware inside your rig, you can bring it down to this kind of level and still get a great frames per second, par enough for you to play the game. Although I wouldn't recommend you streaming the game, because eventually you will notice a huge frame drop depending on the type of system that you have. At the current moment, I am running a quad core 7850K. This is an A10 top of the line APU from AMD. I also have 16 gigabytes of RAM, and what I have is a Crossfire system. So I have an R7265 2 gigabyte VRAM in dual graphics mode. So, you know, being that graphics cards don't really combine video RAM, it's just a 2 gigabyte video RAM graphics card that I have in my system. But since I have it running on Crossfire, this is basically how I can set up my system and pretty much play the game, because not only is the workload going through one graphics card, but the workload is also going to the other graphics card, which is pretty much balancing itself out. So all in said, if you guys want to have a good smooth gameplay and also be able to go ahead and record a gameplay so you can actually upload onto YouTube, this would be the perfect settings for you, and you can actually tweak this around. So if you basically don't like the settings that you're getting on with using this kind of setup, you can actually tweak around and pretty much find a basic settings that will not reduce your frames per second lower than 20 frames per second. So at the current moment, when having these settings, I get anywhere between 60 to a good low of 38 frames per second, which is still great, but then again, it's not streaming quality great. So it all depends on how you tweak all of these settings that you will get your overall experience on the game. But either way, it is the greatest game that ever came out. You know, I give kudos and great thanks to Bluehope for actually, you know, pretty much listening to all of the banter that was going around with H1Z1's King of the Kill. So I'm gonna just leave you with this. If you do like the video, do leave a thumbs up on it. If you want to see more, or if you guys need any more help, do leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe, because definitely I will be posting up more gameplay on Battlegrounds, and definitely you guys can probably see me on YouTube Gaming streaming this game live, and hope to guys see you there, man. All in all, have a great weekend and enjoy. Peace.